Say something real.
Good morning. Good morning. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show this morning. It is Michelle Bryant here at WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Gotta say, apologize for the delay this morning. Had just a minor moment of being behind schedule. So we certainly apologize for coming on air a few minutes behind the 7 o'clock hour. But we here now. Let's roll. Let me say good morning to my cohorts in the studio. What's up, Keon?
Man, rested, well rested.
Oh, okay. Well,
you know how you get that 6-7 hours of sleep and you hit that the level that you hardly hit when your body start healing. You be like, what day it is?
I think I've had that one. Oh, no wonder I'm trying to get in my computer. I think I've had that before, but it's been a minute.
Oh, long
It's been
time.
a minute. It's been a minute. Say good morning to my brother Carvey. What's up, Carv? Good morning, back. Good morning. All right, family. A number of issues. First of all, just let folks know I got guests coming in at 8 o'clock. So I am going to try to breeze through a number of things if I can before. Why don't I know the password to get into my computer? What in the world? 0606. I'll say my password out loud.
On the radio.
Right. Oh my God. Why is my password not working? Okay.
Just one of those days.
Okay. I don't even know what my password is right now. And I don't know why I cannot get in. But anyway, seriously? Okay. Think about it. While I do that, let me use my other computer, my cell phone. So I would like to circle back if I could for now. What is happening with my technology this morning?
The eclipse got it.
Dude, my cell phone just started like vibrating like crazy. It stopped, but it was.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm sitting here like, what the
hell is going on up in here this morning?
My situation.
Okay, that was crazy.
Cell phones are
like literally. I got the same password, and for whatever reason, I cannot get into my password. This is so crazy. But okay, anyway.
Technology, that's the AI.
Dude, this is like.
You make sure I get in mine.
Hang on, y'all, because honest to God, I don't understand why I cannot get into my computer. It's telling me my passwords don't work. I have the exact same password. I know what I'm doing. Okay. I don't know what's happening. I'll try again later.
I got it there.
Okay. So I wanted to take a minute because I talked about this at the end of the show yesterday. But, you know, the concern that had come up from people. Somebody said caps lock. Nope. Let me see. I'm gonna try one more time. This is so crazy, y'all. It was caps lock. But the thing is, no, wait, I'm getting ready to say. First of all, thank you to the rock star who said try caps lock. But I don't think that's it. We're gonna see. All right. Anyway, so before I ended the show yesterday, I talked about for a few moments the fact that I had people reach out to me, just kind of talking about it, venting, expressing concern. Nope, that's not it. About whether or not there was potentially a serial killer in Milwaukee. And I know this is a bit earlier than I would have had the conversation, but because I have guests coming in at 8 o'clock, I needed to move my show around a little bit. So if you got young people in the car, should have said that too before I said serial blank. You might want to adjust the radio. Give people a minute to do that. So I talked about this yesterday and the fact that there were concerns after an individual had been dismembered, or multiple people dismembered. We did not know. We do not know. But that at various locations around the community, there had been body parts found. Okay. So we had a leg found in a park near Cudahy first. And then in another location, within 2 days, there were more body parts found. Then we started talking, like the 30th and Lisbon area, and then there is someone else found. I mean, another, other set of remains found. And I'm saying set, but just parts. I'm not sure exactly what they found. I don't know. And a number of people also at the same time paying attention to the disappearance of a young sister, 19-year-old, who came up missing roughly around the same time some of these body parts began appearing around the community. So people have been trying to figure out if there was a correlation, if this is this young sister, um, because people still have not heard from her, have not found her. Her family is still, trying to figure out what's going on with their loved one. And the situation. So people started asking Michelle, what in the heck is going on? So people were asking, like, Michelle, have you heard if the remains belong to a black person? Have you heard if the remains belong to a woman? And the comments was just kind of like, look, y'all, we waiting right now to see what other additional information that the police will release. But the thing that I said is that we had also heard that a person of interest was in custody. Okay. A guy by the name of Maxwell Anderson. And I mentioned at the end of my show yesterday that he was going to be appearing in court yesterday. He was going to be appearing in court sometime either in the morning or yesterday in the afternoon, but he was going to be in court. And he actually did appear in court. And young guy, like in his 30s, white male. I think they said he appeared with his parents and his attorney. And the district attorney or the prosecuting attorney in the case requested that the court provide them with an additional 72-hour hold because they're trying to process DNA. They're trying to process things that they found at his home. So he lives in a duplex on the south side of Milwaukee. And they said that they found blood in different parts of the house, whether it's the stairwell, other rooms. Don't have all the details on that, but that they had found blood in different parts of the house. And so they are trying to get the crime lab, to get that processed in record fashion within the next 2 days or so, to be able to determine if that DNA, if that blood can be connected to the 19-year-old or whoever, the DNA of the individuals that's body parts have been found in the parks and different places in the community, if there's a connection between any of that. His lawyer intimated that while the police have not publicly come forward and said that there is a connection, that they believe, I mean, that the lawyer says, the defendant's lawyer is like, look, y'all trying to make a connection. Y'all don't have one right now. This man should be allowed to go. He has ties to the community. He has a full-time job. He will return if he needs to come back to court. But right now, you don't have what you need to hold him. The judge listened to, the arguments on both sides and made a decision to hold this guy over for an additional 72 hours, hoping that the crime lab can get the necessary information to the district attorney for review for decisions about charging, if any are going to be made at all. So that was the one thing I was trying to tell people yesterday, is that right now, just from the mood of what, you're just kind of picking up around the city, that I didn't get the impression, a number of other people didn't get the impression that we were talking about someone who has the MO of a serial killer and that people were in immediate danger. That being said, one of the things I said as we ended the show yesterday is that people still needed to be vigilant and diligent about your personal safety and your care, because none of these dots have been connected yet. And, there are people that get inspired and become copycats and act a fool. So we don't know. The bottom line is, even though the guy appeared in court yesterday, the 72-hour hold was, provided by the courts, that we still don't know what is the situation. So the family of this young woman was at the courthouse as well, and they ended up obviously leaving with no answers fully either. Maybe just a little bit of solace in that if this is the person, then they're not on the streets right now. And that, that's about the most comfort you can get right now as this whole thing unwinds and plays its way through the court system. So I got to go take a break, but I wanted to be able to make sure that I provided that follow-up. We will obviously keep you posted here at the station as we learn more, because other folks have definitely said that they were concerned, fearful. A number of women, in fact, all women were the individuals that reached out to me, and then people thought about like the sickness of a Jeffrey Dahmer, and if that in fact was, were we reliving some kind of nightmare. So we don't know. We'll see. I can't imagine though the type of mind in the individual that is able to do what was done to this body. In this case, I'm just saying this body because I'm not sure who it belongs to, but who could do that to an individual? Who could do that to a person? So we know we got some crazy people out here, some sick people out here, and they work amongst us. They in the, they on the job. Jeffrey Dahmer was on the job with people every day, and all this foolishness going on at night at his home. We know we work with crazy people. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say, I don't know a better word. I do know a better word, but I'm not going to try to use it. We know we work with people that are disturbed and have issues and challenges going on. So with that being said, take a breath for a second and we will be right back. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM.
April is Financial Literacy Month, presented by the Milwaukee County Office of Equity. We invite you, the listeners of WNOV, to learn more about how to protect, grow, and invest your dollars.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something that they take well. Personally, Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't, because helping you get the coverage you want with the savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Milwaukee Allstate agent Cindy Johnson at 414-445-2558. That's 414-445-2558 today for a free quote. Home, auto, renters, condo, and more. Sydney, Nancy, and Lyndon can't wait to meet you.
Subject to terms and conditions and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Get ready, Wisconsin. The Black Child Development Institute is expanding its village statewide. Join us for an unforgettable evening of celebration and empowerment at our gala on Saturday, May 4th, 2024 at the Hilton Milwaukee City Center. Tickets are available for $150 per person and sponsorships are available. Adorn yourself in formal African attire as we celebrate this momentous occasion and the growth of our village. For more information and to purchase tickets, call 414-236-5641 or visit bcdi-wisconsin.org. That is 414-236-5641 or bcdi-wisconsin.org. Don't miss out on this unforgettable event. Together, let's build a brighter future for Wisconsin's children.
Hey Milwaukee, my name is Martina and I'm with the Independent Living Supports Pilot Program team. We help adults 55 plus and those 18 plus living with disabilities, providing up to $7,200 for home services, medical equipment, home modifications, and more. There's less than 30 days left to sign up for this program. See if you qualify today. Call 414-289-6874. Again, that's 414-289-6874. This program is made possible by Milwaukee County and Wisconsin Department of Health and Human Services.
You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. Now, back to Say Something Real with your host, Michelle Bryant on WNOV.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. So let me take a second because I've been meaning to do this. And as we are nearing the deadline, I want to make sure that I say this. If we still have any students that are in the car on their way to school, if we got parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, folks that have children at the church that you know are talented, auxiliary members, you know, Black Leaders Academy, whatever. The NAACP is running, the local branch of the Milwaukee chapter of the NAACP is running commercials on the radio right now about their program called the AXO program. That's that commercial where you've heard that long phrase, Afro Academic, Cultural, Technological, and Scientific Olympics, AXO. That's what the acronym stands for. And this is a competition that's held by the National NAACP, in which they bring high school students across the country to a designated city. This year, that city is Las Vegas. And they compete, and they can compete in a number of different areas for scholarships and other rewards. And so the categories, if you have a young person who is a great cook, and they think that they could compete in a competition, because what has to happen is they have to win first here at the local level in Milwaukee. And then if they win in Milwaukee, then they go and compete on Milwaukee's team at the national level. Well, who is the person that is over the AXO program? None other than our own State Representative Lakeisha Myers. She is the chair of this program for the NAACP here in Milwaukee. And so she would be, I think I've been drafted to be a chaperone to take these young people to Vegas to be able to compete in the national competition. So number one, let me just quickly run through these areas. If you have a child that loves to cook, they have their own business. I know I've gone to so many different things, and young people make their own desserts or whatever, food wise, they can compete on April 12th. I think is the day for the competition, and I'll get the exact date from Rep Myers. If you have entrepreneurs that are teenagers, so if they own their own business and they provide a product or service and it's a great business and they want to put their business model up against other folks, show their products, if they win, they too can be headed to Las Vegas after competing here locally in Milwaukee. If they are in the visual arts, so if you got young people that are amazing artists in terms of drawing, whether this is sketch art, whatever that representation that looks like in terms of drawing, enter them into the competition. Filmmaking, painting, photography, sculpture, the visual arts. If you got students that do any of those things, if you are teachers that have students that do any of those things and you know they're great, you should tell them to consider or push them, encourage them to compete in this competition in Milwaukee. In the humanities, we got music composers, and this is you arranging music. You know, we got people arranging music on their computers that actually are doing it still on live instruments. But if you are a music composer, if you have an original essay, so you are an incredible writer, and you have taken a subject and just explored that. Some of the kids that participated in the King Day speech competitions could potentially enter the competition based on original essays, playwriting, poetry. You in the spoken word, you've created an original poem or prose, and you can perform that as a monologue. You can compete in this competition. If you've written a short story and people read it and determine like this is amazing, again, you can win the local competition and compete at the national level. The other areas, the performing arts. So if you are in dance, they have categories for ballet, for contemporary dance. So, like we see a lot of the young people that's dancing to different cuts of music on YouTube, and the dance moves are just crazy and real technical but freestyle. If you do modern dance, traditional dance, if you act and you want to act out a scene from a play, if you play a musical instrument, both classical music and contemporary music, you are encouraged to compete. If you can sing, because we all know with some young people, I think about all of the students that participate in Capitol Productions, We Are the Drum. If you can sing, they have a music vocal category. They have an oratory category. I give great speeches. I can compete. Again, poetry. And then in the last category, in the STEM field, so this is science, technology, math, that kind of situation, architecture, biology. If you have things that you want to compete on by way of chemistry, biochemistry, computer science, earth and space sciences, you have projects that you've done in engineering, things that you've done around the issues of mathematics or even medicine and health. I ran into some young girls who had created a skincare line, natural health care. One girl, they had a product where they was like, this could re-stimulate growth when y'all done messed up y'all edges on y'all hair. All of this is open for competition, physics, and even sustainable design. So when you start talking about looking at your neighborhood and doing things that can help with, a green environment, there are more than, and caller, I see you, I'll be right there. But there are more than, I think they said 31 or 35 different categories that a young person, a high school student, could participate in. These are nice scholarships. I don't have all of the financial part of it and what they could win, but I will get that for you. I'm gonna talk about it again tomorrow. See if I can get State Representative Myers on to be able to talk about it as well. But this is just phenomenal. And I'm gonna be honest, I had never heard of the NAACP AXO program. And when I got done looking at everything that was available, I'm just like, man, I could have competed myself in a number of these categories when I was in high school. So please, 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 parents, grandparents, folks at the church, you got the young person at the church that sings in the choir, the pianist who plays for y'all occasionally, the young brother that's the drummer in the church. I mean, if these are any people that are in high school that you have access to, the competition is on April 12th. I think is it April 12th? I think it's April 12th. I'm gonna text Rep Myers and have her get me the date. So that we can get them, in the competition, have these young people win, take them to Las Vegas, all expenses paid, take them to Las Vegas so that they can compete against students from around the country, and Milwaukee can bring home some awards. callers, give me 1 second. And I will bring you guys up. Just give me 1 second. I want to flag also story out of Chicago. I got to talk about that. But hang on, let me see if I can do it myself. Hold on, y'all. Hey, caller. Nope, I didn't do it. Hold on. You gotta do that. Hey, caller.
Michelle?
Yeah, hey, caller. What's happening? Thank
This
you.
is Andre. Michelle, can you hear me?
Yes, Andre, I can hear you.
Okay. Some years ago, I was a coach for the AXO competition with NAACP, and Sharon Hill was the student that we took to Minneapolis to compete, and she was one of the top three in that category. But what was great about that is the students had a chance to meet other students from all over the country that were interested in the same thing that they're interested in, and so they got a chance to make connections. And then the preparation before going that the NAACP did with them were lessons and things that they could take with them forever. So I encourage any parent that have a talented young person in any of the categories for the AXO or the NAACP AXO, that they should get them in there, because the lessons are lifelong, the relationships that they build are lifelong, and we just may bring home a winner because Sharon was one. Okay, so thanks for that.
No, and thank you, Andre. That is so cool. I'm glad we had somebody who could testify to the program. And we know, and I'm telling you, I actually thought about you in the back of my mind. It's funny that you called because of just all the different, arts and different programs that you're engaged in. And I'm like, I bet Andre probably has had kids come through that could easily have participated in this competition.
And please let Representative Meyer, yourself, or anybody know that I am totally open to coming in and training and working with some of our artists that are going to be doing the performance stuff on stage presence and just how to win, because I am a winner and I do promote winning.
Hey, my man. Well, you know what? I will make sure that Rep Myers knows. And thank you so much, Dre. We appreciate you, bro.
Have a good day.
You too now. I just love this community. All right, we got another caller on the line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning. This is Judge Taylor. I was calling to give a major shout out to this AXO rebirth that Representative Dr. Myers is doing. We were leaders, and our young people had an opportunity to really compete nationally with the NAACP AXO program under the leadership of past, before she was president and even after president, Ms. Hamilton. And so to see someone taking up the mantle to really get us connected, get our young people connected to the industry that I've told us about, agriculture, because that's what culinary is.
Right.
And to see us doing something related to the piece of entrepreneurialism, because that's what's going to, it's small businesses that create the jobs, and that's what's going to grow our community and strengthen it in a way that is necessary. So just major kudos to leadership that pours into our young people, which means they're pouring into our future and taking that time. And although I don't know that I'll go and chaperone, I will definitely be supportive. Major kudos to Representative Dr. Myers being willing to chaperone and give our young people that opportunity, but because it's in Vegas, maybe.
See, so trifling, so trifling.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Judge Taylor. Look, Senator Taylor, Judge Taylor. She was like, "Yeah, if y'all was going to Minnesota, I'm not considering it. But if it's Vegas, I might consider it." And just so people know this timeline, so young people would compete here locally this month, and then whoever is successful in winning here locally, then you get to go through April and July, to the point that Andre Lielis made, being mentored and coached on how to prepare for the national competition. And then you would head to Las Vegas in July so that you could compete and participate at the NAACP National Convention. So all of this happens at the same time. It is an amazing opportunity. And if you don't have a ton of kids that compete, I'm just going to say some inside tea. If you don't have a ton of kids that compete, that means that your chances of winning locally are even better, which means that, you know, the ability to move to the next level and go to Vegas and compete is great. And you're talking about one-on-one, you know, coaching activities, mentorship of people getting you ready to go. But there are some young people, they call right now. They can win a competition right now. We just got to figure out who they are and where they, you know, where they are and how to get them connected to what's being done at the NAACP local chapter. The other thing I'll say real quick is State Representative Myers was in AXO herself as a high school student. And that's why, you know, it was such a thing that she cared about. She was so passionate about, because she was like, I competed in AXO myself. And I was just like, really? Like, I ain't know nothing about AXO. I always understood the lawsuit side of the NAACP, the civil rights side, the coming in to, you know, talk about human rights offenses. I never knew about this wing of the NAACP that had this focus on young students and young people. So again, Andre Lee Ellis, if you're still listening, Judge Taylor said, tell him I need my pie. I don't know what that means, but she said she need her pie. So I just wanted to mention that. All right, let me take another quick turn because there was a case that came out of Chicago that a number of people have been watching. Oh, wait, let me see. Dr. Williams hit me. Thank God for Representative Myers for giving this talent competition rebirth. I had a number of Washington High students participate back in the day who reached the national level. So look, we clearly got a legacy of this in our community, and let's get our babies re-engaged. That's all I can say. And I'll talk about it again tomorrow, and I'll see if I can get her on for a quick interview to bring this up and make sure we talk about it. And I'm gonna tell you what made me think about it, because I saw her doing an interview on TV, and I was like, she's running commercials over here for it, but I don't know if we interviewed her. I know I haven't interviewed her, I think, specifically about it. So I was like, that's trifling. You had to see it on TV, Michelle, to think I need to interview her. But anyway, we'll get it done. But I wanted to mention this case out of Chicago because there was a lot of hoopla being made about the release of body cam footage in a fatal shooting involving law enforcement and a young African-American male. So in Chicago on March 21st, a young brother by the name of Dexter Reed said he was going out for a ride. He had talked to his mom. His mom is Sheila Banks. And he said, Mom, I'm going to be out for a minute, kicking it, going out for a ride. His mom was like, okay, cool. This young brother, 26 years old, is pulled over by the Chicago Police Department because they said he didn't have a seatbelt on. So they said that's why they pulled him over, for not wearing a seatbelt. A lot of people, believe that the seatbelt thing is just a it's like having the air freshener hanging from your mirror, and you get pulled over for that. And the cop is like, I pulled you over for the air freshener hanging from your window. And you was like, your rear view mirror. And you just looking at him like, just say you wanted to pull me over. Because while, technically this is a violation, don't nobody get pulled over for this. For real. Just say you wanted to pull me over. So anyway, that's why the police said they pulled him over. But
probable cause.
No, they pulled you over for actual violation, not probable cause.
That's what I'm saying. But they would consider probable cause to pull you over.
Phrase
you were looking for.
Yeah, no, because like I said, if I can see it, it's not probable. I see the violation. I see you speeding. I see, so I pulled you over for cause, not probable. I think I would remove that word. I pulled you over for cause.
The air freshener is probable to me.
It's cause, because that's against the law. Air fresheners hanging, if y'all didn't know that, air freshers, y'all Mardi Gras beads, y'all dice, y'all babies' booties, all that mess y'all hang from y'all rear view mirrors is illegal. Even your handicap sign is not supposed to just be left up there while you drive. You are supposed to put it up when you are parking in a space that's handicap identified. And when you drive away, you're supposed to take that mess down, put it back in your glove compartment, your front seat, wherever you let it sit. But none of that stuff is supposed to hang from your window because they say it obscures your view. Okay. In Wisconsin, I don't know. I think the seatbelt fine is still $10 if they pull you over, but you can get pulled over because they're looking in your car and they was like, you ain't got no seatbelt on, or it's $25, whatever the fine is. But okay. So this young brother is pulled over by the police in Chicago, and in less than 1 minute, he is dead. In less than 1 minute, he is dead. Officers fired 96 rounds into his car, and he had at one point got out of the car. Now, the one thing that the police said is that yes, they pulled him over for a traffic seatbelt violation. 5 officers descended on this car with guns drawn for a seatbelt violation. Why? Why did 5 officers engage on a seatbelt violation? So this brother, according to what the police have said, one of the officers that came up on his passenger side said that he was shot by the brother. And at that point, they all unloaded into the car. The young brother ends up being able to get out of the car and make it to the back part of the car, where ultimately he is shot some more. And then at some point, he dies. This whole thing happens in less than a minute. And when all said is said and done, nearly 100 rounds have been shot at this young man. So the family of the young man, obviously, distraught, and they're saying that none of this should have ever happened because it was an illegal. I mean, it was they believe it was an illegal stop. They don't know that the young man did not have his seatbelt on. They don't know. And I don't know at this point if anyone can tell, because think about, I don't know. I don't know how they, if they got something that can say, yep, he didn't have a seatbelt on. But then even if he didn't have a seatbelt on, why are 5 officers with guns drawn rushing up on this young brother's vehicle for a seatbelt violation? And so did he get nervous and think he was about to be ambushed by the police? Chicago police and citizens don't have the best relationship, but whatever, he ended up shooting. Now they say that a lot of the folks believe that some of this stuff was justifiable because, number one, if you in fact did shoot a police officer, of course people are going to shoot back at you. But the other thing that they're questioning is that even when the man is down on the ground, they continue to shoot him. So there is a part in the body cam footage when they say a female officer. Okay, well, let me just do the whole little recap. So he's driving. He's in a white SUV, heavily tinted windows, and the female officer rolls up on him, tells him to roll his window down. He does. A black ski mask obscures much of his expression, but his eyes appear wide. I don't know what they mean. Like if they said he had on a actual black ski mask. Anyway, Reed resists rolling down the other window, unlocking his doors, and the situation escalates. So this is the thing that's crazy and kind of doesn't make sense to me, because you refuse to roll down your other window, but you unlock your doors. If I'm not trying to roll my windows down, that means I'm not trying to engage you. So you acknowledge I let one down, but you're saying I wouldn't let the others down. Well, how many windows needed to be down? That's number one. And I guess they said because it's tinted, they needed to be able to see in the whole car. I don't know. But they said he unlocked his doors. So they said Reed, the young brother, began firing, hitting one of the officers, although it's unclear from the body cam footage who fired first. Okay. So I want to make sure that's stated. The police said he fired first. Body cam, they're not able to clearly determine who fired first. This is my thing. It's 5 officers on the scene. How many officers were in position body cam wise or dash cam from the vehicle to be able to catch this encounter? So the whole thing, the 96 rounds were shot in 41 seconds. 41 seconds is how long it took them, these 5 officers standing there, semi-automatic weapons, to dump 96 rounds. Body cam footage shows one officer emptying his pistol multiple times on Reed. He emptied it multiple times, shooting his brother. It's unclear if the 26-year-old's hands are raised also in the video. The officer continues firing after Reed goes down and is motionless, the body cam video shows. In the video, an officer can be heard calling out that Reed's gun is still in the car. In the car. It's unclear why Reed was carrying a gun. He was awaiting trial in a gun case, according to Cook County court records. An officer hit in the arm in the shootout was in good condition. But people that have watched the video have said, let's give you everything. But that you telling us, we'll give you some degree of, okay, credibility. But there are 2 anchor pieces of this story that for a lot of people don't make sense. Number one, that this level of enforcement engaged this brother on a unlocked or undone seatbelt. That's number one. And if the car is heavily tinted, I guess maybe you can see through the driver's window, and when he passes by, you see he'll have a seatbelt on. But that's number one, was this whole piece about why so many officers respond with guns drawn on a seatbelt violation. The other thing is, people talked about that after this young man went down, and it was clear that he was not moving, there were an additional 3 shots that were fired into his body that made no sense. And, I heard some former officers and people talking about it this morning, and they said that, the adrenaline is rising. I have a nephew that's in prison right now because one of his boys, who he had done some dirt with, jumped out on him and shot at him while he was walking. My nephew shoots him back. And after he goes down, my nephew shoots him a second time. He shot him twice in total. He shot him the first time, then he shot him a second time. My nephew was in jail for the rest of his life because the judge said, or the district attorney said when they brought charges, you was fine on the first shot because it was self-defense. This guy jumped out on you and shot at you first. You go into prison for the rest of your life for the second shot, because at that point, the man is down and no longer a threat. And so you shouldn't have shot the second shot. But the police do the same damn thing every day. And we get the adrenaline argument for the police department. The adrenaline. So I guess nobody else has adrenaline but police officers. Nobody else has an adrenaline defense but the police officers. So we will see how this whole thing unfolds. But this conversation is going to be happening everywhere you turn around today. When you look at the footage, because whether it's the mayor of Chicago, who has said that the footage is deeply disturbing. And I think that, again, it's because of the excessive use of force when it came to dealing with this situation. Because if they say his gun is in the car, that means this boy ain't shooting at nobody. When he got out of the car, Nobody can tell you he was shooting at them. They didn't find a second gun at the scene. So you still lighting him up, even though no one's firing at you. The only bullets that's flying is the law enforcement bullets. When he's down on the ground, because somebody yells out, the gun is in the car. Now, police may say, well, we didn't know the gun was in the car. Okay. I'm going to give you all of that. But again, they cannot explain why they used the amount of force that they did to pull him over. 5 officers drawing guns on a seatbelt violation. And even the law enforcement experts who reviewed the footage have said the last 3 shots don't make no sense. Problematic. So here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. Gotta take a break. I'll be right back. Milwaukee. This is Michelle Bryant, your host of Say Something Real. When President Joe Biden wanted to talk to Milwaukee voters, he called WNOV. And welcome President Biden to Milwaukee and to WNOV. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. I had a great event downtown, and I'm at the headquarters now, and we're feeling really good. It's a great day. We have a lot of we have 1,000 volunteers going out here in Wisconsin, out of Milwaukee in particular.
So we are ready to roll in Wisconsin.
Well, I tell you what, God love you. We win Wisconsin, we win it all.
For up-to-date election information, keep it locked on WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM.
Hello, I'm Vanessa, co-chair of the Juneteenth Vendors.
I am Frank, co-chair of the Juneteenth Volunteers.
Juneteenth is fastly approaching and space is always limited. So if you have an interest in being a vendor, you need to sign up today.
Juneteenth would not be successful unless we have volunteers. We need volunteers for a multitude of different areas. So companies, corporations, organizations, Divine Nine, even families, please sign up to be volunteers today.
So call Northcott Neighborhood House today at 414-372-3770.
Vendors and volunteers call today at 414-372-3770.
Thank you.
The Center for Teaching Entrepreneurship presents its 3rd annual Big Head Soiree, Thursday, May 16th at the Marcus Performing Arts Center in the Bradley Pavilion. I'm Andrea Williams, and I'll be your host for this spectacular event. It's designed to salute the co-founder, Miss Radonna Rogers, as she loved to wear big hats. And this is one way we honor her. We will also celebrate and recognize the accomplishments of Milwaukee's leaders in entrepreneurial ventures. So ladies, this is the time to wear your big hat, and guys, your stylish fedora. You will be treated to a delectable dinner and the sounds of Soul Sirius starting at 5:30. The program will begin at 7 with more entertainment and the awards program. Tickets are just $75. Go to Eventbrite using VHS 24 or call 414-788-8104. That's 414-788-8104. This event will kick off the spring season, so don't miss it.
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. Now, back to Say Something Real with your host, Michelle Bryant, on 860 WNOV.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. So got a couple callers who held through the break. Before I left, I was talking about the situation in Chicago. Young African-American man who ends up being pulled over on a seatbelt violation. 5 officers descend on the car, guns drawn. You know, they say he shot at officers. Body cam, dash cam right now is not confirming that one way or the other. And that they ended up responding. And in 46 seconds, 96 rounds are shot. And then even after this young man exits the vehicle, they continue to shoot when he's motionless down on the ground. So there are going to be a lot of questions, investigations, I'm sure, about this whole situation. But let me see if the community wants to weigh in. Hey, caller, what's happening?
How you doing, Miss Michelle?
Hey, bro, how you doing this morning?
I'm smiling now. I know all you beautiful souls that hear my voice, may y'all be blessed, and the ugly ones too. Hey, Miss Michelle. See,
Yes.
now this is coming up on what I was saying about the investigation. Look, I used to do a lot of these in the military when we used to, well, never mind, I don't need to go there. But look, you could still see how many rounds each officer has shot and why, because that's supposed to be in the report. Who shot rounds, how many were shot. They also supposed to have they shells and whatever, all that information. Then, now what I was asking about, the drug test and the hyper drinks they be drinking, the Red Bull and all that. Don't that have effects? Shouldn't that be checked out? And also, and then the question that never got answered for me when I was asking about when an officer here has an incident driving or hurting somebody, do we get to look at the medical or incident report? You know, are we allowed to ask, hey, have they had any other incidents? Have they shot at a weapon before? What was their last count or their test scores? Their mental aptitude. Are they addicted to caffeine? Do they drink a lot of Red Bulls per shift? Because, never mind, I ain't going to get into that. Those are things that you have to ask, you know, and about all these. And then, like you said, on a seatbelt, you coming with armed force?
Right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the call. I think that was one of the things, you know, and just depending on the individual in the car at that time and their mindset, because I'm going to tell you, State Representative Myers and I were in the car together. She was driving and we had just left over, you know, by the house and pulled off on the 91st and Good Hope. She got pulled over and I don't even remember what she got pulled over for, but she got pulled over and 2 officers came to the car and one officer came up on the passenger side, on my side of the car. I'm looking at him in the side mirror and he has his hand on his firearm as he's walking up to the car. Like I could see him unclip it and walk up on the car. And when he got to the car, you know, now my whole attitude then got stank in 5 seconds because this is a traffic stop. And I know traffic stops can go south. I appreciate that. But why are you like that? Just all of that sets up a bunch of events that can happen. In the way you look at and view these situations. Because now I'm tense, I'm nasty, and I'm angry because I'm trying to figure out why you got a gun on us or you got your hand on your gun coming to talk to me, I'm not even driving the car as you come up on the passenger side. I think about how Philando Castile got shot on the passenger side when he tells an officer, just so you know, I'm a legal concealed carry holder, and the officer unloads in his chest and kills this young brother with his 2-3-year-old daughter sitting in the back seat directly behind him. No thought for even that this bullet could pass through this boy's body, the seat, and hit this child in the back. I tell you I'm concealed carry and still end up getting shot and killed. So let me go and catch this last caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, good morning to you.
Good morning.
The lower caller that just called in, he makes a fine point. He makes a point that I've been harping on for years. I even had the conversation with Joe Madison, and he kind of blew it off. Oh, coffee. Let me tell you something. The coffee that these police officers are drinking now is not your old moms and pops Folgers coffee. These people are drinking espressos, man. I'm talking about a latte with a double shot espresso, how you shaking like I don't know what, and have you just moving quick. But anyway, that's not what I called about. Yesterday, there was a caller that called in. I think it was Gwen Moore. Did she call in yesterday?
Not on my show. Might have been Keith's show.
Call in. Okay, that was somebody else that called in and kind of disputed the commercial that I'm running.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know on my show somebody did say something about the commercial.
That wasn't Gwen.
No, that wasn't Congresswoman Moore.
Because I was finna eat her up alive, and I never do it because she's a senior.
Wow.
You know, and I respect it. I respect what.
Well,
she
why was
do.
you gonna eat her up alive?
You know, if she called in and blast my commercial, because what I'm trying to do is for the community, get a community a voice.
But if I remember the call,
a real terrible thing, you know. After all, she is a, you know.
Okay, well, you ain't got to get on her because she didn't say it. She didn't say it.
Just really a money launderer.
See, I knew you was gonna take a shot. I knew you was gonna ease a shot in there.
You know why I took the shot?
No, because it was no reason. Because I told you she didn't say nothing. She didn't call in, and you gonna slip in. She's a money launderer. Like what is wrong with you? Stop it, man. Stop it.
Well, you want to ask the question? Why do I come up with that conclusion?
No. Because I'm just saying you initiated. No, what I'm saying is you initiated the call because you thought she took a shot at you. When you realize, nope, she didn't take a shot at you, you go ahead and fire off anyway. Why? No need.
Because I really want to fire off on you.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Bobby.
Hold on. No.
I want to talk to you. No, we can't have no conversation. I got something to do. Bobby. Let her go. Peace. I want to talk to you. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I just heard you with Meech. And I just wanted to tell you, you know, he called in with that nonsense yesterday, the Rev. Al Sharpton show.
No.
And Al Sharpton dressed him down. I mean, made a complete fool out of him.
What did he say on Al Sharpton's show?
He was talking that old yin-yang about Trump.
Get on the Trump train. We need to support
Al Sharpton pinned him down and said, so tell us one thing that Trump is going to do for black people. He couldn't tell. He came up with something about Trump saved a black pregnant girl, some crazy stuff. And Al Sharpton said, well, tell me what Trump said he's going to do. He's made it clear that he's not going to do nothing for black people. He's made it clear that he doesn't want to do anything for black people. So you tell me what Trump's going to do. He dressed him down beautifully. I mean, it was something to hear. I wish I could have recorded and play it back for you.
All right, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I missed that whole little fun, but okay, all right. I'm gonna take one more caller because I now have all my guests in the studio and want to get to this conversation. Folks having personal summers in here fed. We got to turn the air conditioners on because the ladies is in the building. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning.
Hey, bro, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I appreciate your show. Hey, Keon.
I got Keon's mic, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
He said hey.
Hey, it was interesting because Reverend Sharpton got Meech down. He know Meech right off the bat. When Meech got ready before he got started, he said, Now we're gonna stick to the facts. We can disagree, but we can't disagree about the fact before we even said anything. So he already know who he is. But I watched that. I watched the video that I could see of the shooting.
Okay.
First of all, that boy had limousine black tint. How did they see he didn't have a seatbelt on?
Well, what about that front window shield though? Because it
was
because you can see through the front.
Down. It was rolling up and down.
Okay.
And it looked like it had tint on it. But even still, the officers on the driver's side were stacked too deep, and both of them had their guns out. And the boy was rolling the window down. I mean, you didn't even look to me like you had talked to him yet.
Because that's what they said. They can't hear, in the body cam, what kind of verbal commands, what real conversation they had with him. But yeah, that you walked up on this car, 2 officers on each side, too deep, like guns drawn for a seatbelt violation. Like, so all of it is suspect. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the call. All right, family, let me do this. I know I have one caller left, but I want to make sure that I have ample time to be able to hold the interview that we have this morning. So, elections have consequences. And we know we have just come off of a spring general election, April 2nd, in which on the local level, City Common Council, there are a lot of changes. We had a lot of people who announced that they weren't running for re-election, and a lot of new names and faces who jumped in and said, I think I'm gonna try that. I think I'm gonna get in. And we have a lot of returning members as well. But one of the things that we have to acknowledge is that the Milwaukee Common Council looks a whole lot more different on April 10th than it did on April 1st. So I am fortunate this morning to have in studio. It's crazy to look at this look. 3 women that are on the Milwaukee Common Council. Now, all of these folks had already been on the council. Some more recent than others. Some like forever. Ever and a day. I calling no names. But they will be welcoming new members. So first of all, let me just say good morning. I'll start down here on the end. Everybody should have their own mic. Alderwoman Taylor, you can just pull that right over in front of you. So everybody should have their own mic. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. This is Alderwoman Andrea Pratt, and I'm excited and thrilled to be here.
Like I said, I'm sick of you. I just saw you. I saw you like a week ago. And this is a first and a nice opportunity. Good morning, Alderwoman.
Good morning. I'm Alderwoman Taylor.
You can pull it up closer so you don't have to lean so hard.
I'm also excited to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. And let me do this. Alderwoman Pratt, when did you get elected to the Common Council? Because I'm about to mess with somebody. When did you get elected to the Common Council?
Well, I am the 20th woman elected to the council, and I was elected in April 4th of 2023. So
You're the 20th woman in the history of the city of Milwaukee?
Of the council, yes.
178 years.
How many years?
178 years.
And how many men have there been?
Over 1,000.
Yes.
Over 1,000 men have been elected to the Common Council in the 178-year history of this city.
Yes.
You are the 20th woman. Alderwoman Taylor, when did you get elected?
That would make me the 19th.
Yes. Oh my God.
Because we both were elected on the same day, April 4th, 2023.
When you say it like that, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got you.
She helped build
right.
I'm number 14.
Are you number 14?
I am.
Alderwoman Malele Cox?
Yes.
Number 14. You know, on the video, people watching on YouTube and Facebook, and y'all can watch. Malele look crazy sitting way down. She lowered her seat. We didn't do that to her. She lowered. I'm like, for real, Malele, that's the look we going for. So first of all, let me just say this is a unique gift to be able to have all you sisters sitting in the studio. That's just crazy. At one time. Alderwoman, go ahead. You want to say something?
Number 21 should be joining us soon too. So go
just walked
ahead.
in.
Is that Alderwoman Charlotte Moore?
Yes.
All right. So she just walked in. We'll figure out a way to get her seat, make some room for her. But Alderwoman Cox, if I can start with you, to be able to get to this moment and be able to look around, the chambers and see the dynamics change. Come on in. Is that Charlotte? Yeah, he closed. Carvey closing the door all in her face. Like, she don't look like no Alderwoman. She look like she going to the club. What you say, Carvey? I think she one of my groupies. She got a little mini skirt on. What you say, Carvey? This don't look like Alderwoman. We're going to have to get her the dress code. Come on up here. Come on up here. Good morning. And just you can pull one of those seats over. It's one over there too. Yep. And we'll get you at the table. But Alderwoman Cox, to be able to look around the chambers right now at what's going on. When you came in, what year did you get elected?
I got elected in 2008.
2008. Okay, I can't do the math, but that's a long time.
16 years.
Thank you. 16 years. So in 16 years, how many women were on the council when you came in, if you remember? And what's the highest number of women we've had? And then the caveat to have all of these sisters, Black women, African-American members of the council. Can you kind of just help us understand that piece?
Okay, I first want to say Happy Black Women's History Month. You know how they make up stuff all the time?
I was going to say, that's a thing?
But it is a thing.
Did nobody tell me? What?
Women's Month.
Okay.
So it's great that we're having this conversation about this historic moment that the community, through their vote, helped us to have here in the city. When I was elected in 2008, for 4 years before me, there were no women. So they went a whole term.
I
with no
remember
women
that
at
now,
all.
that you say that.
And then when I got elected, I was one for 8 years. I was the only woman. Then Shantia Lewis came.
I'm gonna pull this up just a little bit.
Then Shantia Lewis came. Then Nakia Dodd came. But in the history of the city, there has never been more than 4 women, period, serving together.
Wait, because I'm messing up. I'm messing up. That's because I remember when you came, there hadn't been a woman for 4 years.
Yeah.
I did not realize and respect and appreciate that you served for 8 years as the only female in this body.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And at the time, I was the youngest woman ever elected. I still am the youngest woman ever elected. So I was the youngest person. So I was the youngest person, and I was the only woman for 8 years.
So I'm having Vel Phillips flashbacks of what it had to be like for her, and I remember the stories about. She was elected when she was pregnant. Had to go to the bathroom. You were. No way. You were. Okay, too much. And she talked about, like there being no bathroom.
Yeah.
And for women near the chambers or, committee rooms, and that men would literally have to stand in the doorway and block the doorway so she could go to the bathroom. Because she was like raising hell, like, y'all better get me a bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, like, I remember Nakia's election. I remember Shantia's election. Not making the connection that these were the most recent additions.
Yeah.
Okay. You messed me up for the day. So all of this moment for you has just got to be crazy right now.
Yeah, because it's 6 of us total. So it's
6 women total.
It's more women.
How many members on the common council? 15?
It's 15
okay.
members. So more than a third are women. That has never happened before. So to have that many women is record breaking in itself. And it's never been more than 3 Black women. So to have 4 Black women now, we just breaking all kind of records right now.
Okay, so you 2 ladies came in same time.
Yes.
All right. So biggest thing you noticed being a female coming to the Common Council, if anything?
I'll say that I watched a lot of committee meetings beforehand, and I worked at City Hall. And there was so many committee meetings where I said, they need a woman on the committee. It was so obvious.
But like, why? I mean, what is it that a woman would have brought to the committee that stood out for you?
That women have, or questions that women have that men don't think about, because we think about more of our children, our families, or a community, more community minded, I believe, and that men did not have. And I think you could see that play out in committee meetings.
Really,
and I've noticed a difference since there have been more women on the council. I really feel like it's a more the concern has definitely it's been lifted. It's
but I mean that's like you said, because it's almost like when you introduce any other element into the room, and bringing in a black face or voice, because I got my own set of experiences, cultural references, bringing in LGBTQ member, all these different folks that can come into a room that can actually look at stuff through a different lens, change the questions, change the direction sometimes, and how people see an issue. Alderwoman Taylor.
I would say the same thing. One of the things is that voice that we have to have, because when you're dominated by your male counterpart, you have to really speak up and elevate your voice.
And you are little and everything.
But I also have to agree with Alderwoman Pratt that compassion that we bring, because I've had after meetings my counterparts say, I didn't think of it that way, or thank you for your perspective on that issue. So I think we bring a compassion to decisions that we're making.
I like that. The one thing I will say, and then I know we got to go to break, and then we'll get the newbie, the neophyte up to the mic. But the one thing I will say, and I'm just being a little bit biased here, but because while I know we bring that familial piece, and Alderwoman Taylor, you said compassion. I have watched attorney Alderwoman Malele Cox in committee and in meeting, and when I tell you, shut it down. The intelligence of the questions, the acumen, the ability to break something down into bite-sized portions that make it make sense. She has those moments, and then sometimes it's just her face. Because
the question
the thing about everybody got a tell. When they about to get loose, and then and Malele is irritating to me because number one, she talked low. So you gotta lean all in all hard. You gotta turn your TV up to 55 so you can hear Malele, but when it's coming, and you like I could just have the TV on and be working, but I'm looking at her face and turn TV on, turn volume up, because she about to go. We also bring that. And it's it is a level of intelligence and acumen and insight into these conversations. So I want to make sure we say all of it. We got the compassion and the familial side, but don't make please don't play. You got some beasts walking up in these meetings like, no, that's not how that go. And let me tell you why. So I appreciate that quality being brought to the Common Council. So I gotta take a quick break. We got the lady yet who don't know she in the Common Council yet. She came in here looking all fly like she going to a concert. Harvey like, what you want? He at the door. I'm in the Hollywood here. No, you're not. You gotta get the boring suits and jackets. I see Andrea still trying to hang out with Malele like, damn y'all. We up here for this work. I ain't got time. These folks I got on my last nerve. And they were like, I'm at the office. But here comes Charlotte like, oh yes. Yes, I'm ready. Legs all crossed. Yes. I'm ready. Look, we're talking about how it'd be in 3 months. All right, fam, we're gonna take a quick break. Talk to this history-setting, record-breaking moment in the Milwaukee Common Council. 6 women, 4 Black women, and what the possibilities are, given the dynamic change and the shifts on the Common Council. We'll be right back, y'all. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Somebody get Charlie Moore. a longer skirt. We'll be right back.
Calling all high school students. Do you act, sing, or play an instrument? Are you a scientist, filmmaker, playwright, or visual artist? If so, the NAACP Afro-Academic Cultural, Technological, Scientific Olympics program is for you. Sign up to compete in the local AXO competition on Sunday, April 21st. Gold medalists will automatically win an opportunity to compete at the National NAACP AXO competition in Las Vegas, Nevada this summer. With 32 AXO categories to choose from, there's definitely room to shine. For more information about the NAACP AXO program, visit NAACPMKE.org or call 414-562-1000.
Support also comes from the Milwaukee Art Museum, now presenting Idris Khan, Repeat After Me. Spanning his entire creative journey, the exhibition is the U.S. Museum debut for the British artist. Through photography, sculpture, and painting, visitors will witness Khan's exploration of repetition to mark time. More info is at mam.org.
Coming this month to Milwaukee Rep, fiery anthems from the High Priestess of Soul and Nina Simone for women. This inspirational show shines a light on the civil rights icon, featuring live performances of hits like Everything Must Change and To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. Broadway World calls Nina's trailblazing journey riveting, relevant, and oh so real, as she becomes the unforgettable voice behind impactful songs that you're going to love. Nina Simone for Women is at Milwaukee Rep, April 16th to May 12th. Tickets at MilwaukeeRep.com.
Prom is here, and graduation is near. Stop by Nick Avani's, where they have a large variety of suits, blazers, and shoes to get you right for that special day. You already know Nick Avani has the $100 hookup. You can get a suit, shirt, tie, and shoes, all for just $100. Nick Avani's, open 7 days a week, with an on-site tailor. Nick Avani's on the second floor of the Mayfair Mall, across from the movie theater.
If you're looking for mouth-watering eats and delectable treats, look no further. Eat local and visit the Sherman Phoenix today, where you can find everything from delicious organic wings and smoked barbecue to satisfyingly seasoned vegan food to sweet, buttery, made-to-order desserts. The Sherman Phoenix is also home to a day bar, serving mixed, frozen, and tropical drinks. Experience the Sherman Phoenix effect at 3536 West Fond du Lac Avenue, open Tuesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Visit theshermanphoenix.com to learn more.
You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. Now, back to Say Something Real with your host, Michelle Bryant on WNOV.
All right, look, I know, I'm not used to using this mic, so I'm gonna try to do better. All right, family. Say what? Up under me. That's a whole bunch. All right, welcome back, family. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. In studio today, y'all, we making history. It's history for the station. This is a first that we have had this number of female alderpersons in the studio, and then you add the extra caveat that they are African American women, and we got the newest member who said, "Damn you, Michelle, I'm staying young and fabulous." Carvey knew what he was looking at. You see me. I'm sorry. Did you say so, Carvey? But what'd you say, Tina Turner? But none other than Miss Charlotte Moore. Congratulations. Thank you. I don't think I've had a chance to talk to you since the election.
Not since, yeah.
Congratulations, young lady.
Thank
you. Look, so first of all, what does this moment feel like when you take a quick look at this room?
Transformational. Like this, people are like, Charlene, you were made for this moment. And I couldn't agree with them more because everything had to happen in its time. I couldn't have been here 4 years ago, 10 years ago. It had to happen in this time. So I'm honored for all those that voted for me, that supported me, that loved on me, that prayed for me. I could not have led with support a better campaign with a diverse group of people, and to be added to the council, to be one of 4 Black women.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is unprecedented.
Particularly when you listen to this crazy history Malele laid out.
I know.
Like, and Malele, I don't mean no disrespect, because I'm supposed to be saying Alderwoman Cox. But first of all, I like the name Malele. It's all extra flavorful. What your mama was on, but it's like, who named you? Your mama or your dad? Your mom. So it's just off. Is some history in that name? It's Kenyan. Eternal. Yeah, see, I knew it was something about the name. It's just, I like saying Malele. Can't never spell it, but I like saying it a whole lot. And so I'm at some point I'm definitely gonna show my respect and say Alderwoman Cox. And Andrea, same thing, because I see you so much. And so Alderwoman Taylor, don't think you special. I'm saying Alderwoman Taylor. She's like, yes. She called me Alderwoman Taylor. As soon as I see you a whole bunch more, it's gonna be Larissa, like your cousin down the street.
What up, L?
Yeah. So I'm just saying. But so for a second, let's just talk about the business of what this shift means. Because number one, outside of the historic nature of it, Malele, Alderwoman Cox, when she laid out, first female elected in 4 years, served for 8 years solo. And then, we see Nakia Dodd, one of my favorite people, come through. We see Shantia Lewis come through. And, Shantia, for whatever differences, whatever, she still was a force to be reckoned with in terms of representing the 9th District. So you understand, what it meant to have representation. Yes. But the leadership of this council, the folks that sit at the helm, that get to make decisions and committee assignments and talk about direction of the city, and that common council presidency piece is very, very important. Yes. So first you mess me up, Alderwoman Pratt, and say I'm number 20 in 178 years. And then Alderwoman Cox says, and there have been over 1,000 men who have served in this role. So we are not even 10%. We're not even 5% when you talk about the history of women in this capacity. We got number 21 and number 19 sitting in the building. At some point, one of my frustrations, particularly as someone who worked with Judge Taylor when she was running for mayor, I kept asking myself the question, is this city ready for women to lead in these ways? Because, for just a second, we talking about a 20-year vet in the legislature, 30-year career as an attorney. No shade to Chevy, but his credentials didn't match up in no way, shape, or form. Not even a committee chair as a common council member, if I remember that history correctly. But the city could not see Lena as the mayor. You saw a less qualified brother as in this role. I have to ask the question, and I think we have to ask it of ourselves. When do women who have demonstrated their capabilities get these positions, to the point that we don't even have always other women supporting women showing up in this way? Alderwoman Taylor, I'm gonna ask you, am I off base to question whether or not people are ready to see women as leaders at the highest level of leadership in our local governments and state governments, for that matter?
No, I don't think you're off base. But I think people are still struggling with it. They are still struggling. But we're ready, and we have to just show that. And I'm gonna tell you, I've heard nothing more than every single person has said that Lele is the smartest person down there. And she's shown her capabilities for leadership.
Because I'm just saying, you saying it, but I'm saying right now, like, will we see a Common Council presidency where Alderwoman Cox gets to be the Common Council president? And
you know what? I think that if we all come together and all speak up and all speak our voices and all say what the truth is, speak that truth.
Because I think the community got to get involved in this conversation at this point.
The community needs
this
to
is
come and put
crazy
that
to
pressure.
me. Because you got people that are coming in after her that could be considered before her. Right. And when you look at somebody's record and tenure and all that every committee they've worked on, decisions that have been made, and people can have, some people are gonna call. I was just reading some crazy stuff about you online. Ironically, like 2 days ago, it's like, Malala don't do nothing. All she do is serve the white people in the district. I mean, like, you don't get that. Don't make no faces, Charlotte. Oh, it's coming your way. It's coming. It's coming your way. So you get that. But right now, I'm not talking about what happens necessarily in the district right now, y'all. I'm talking about what happens in those halls of city government, in those committee rooms, in those meetings, the people that are speaking and advocating and, have shown themselves capable of doing this work. Yeah. So Alderwoman Pratt.
Yes.
How do you see this whole thing in terms of, and what's the significance, I think, of the Common Council presidency?
Oh, we understand they kind of lead the direction of the council. They set the tone for the council. So if it'll be divisive if we aren't on one accord and we don't have somebody leading us who believes that we should all come together. If we're trying to pit one group against the other, we won't move forward. I think women, especially Black women, have to contend with. We always hear the speech from our parents about being twice as good, as Black people, and that's even doubled when you're a woman. Yeah. In addition to having to be likable in a way that men don't have to be.
Yes. I'm sorry, say that part again. Yes. As somebody who's often not likable, say that part again. What'd you say?
We have to be likable in a way we do not.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
You can have a man. You are willing to have a man lead you who you don't like, who you may not believe is a good leader. However, he's a man.
He's a man.
So by default, you think he should be the leader, even though you may defer to the woman constantly to ask questions and get research and know about the background of what happened before when you got on this council. That person is a resource to you. They're like in the back pocket. You want them to support.
It's your secretary.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. It just felt like that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Excuse me, that piece about likable.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is, again, I always defer to Lena because this is where I spent, the bulk of my career. But we would often walk out of a room and say, if men had this exact same conversation, the response would be different because the facts and the information are the same. And you trying to determine if you like the woman that's giving you the information, because we have a view about how women are supposed to behave. How dare you be assertive and aggressive? How dare you, interrupt?
How dare you question me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Common Council presidency, I'm gonna just tell you, and I said it during the break, so I'm gonna say it on the air. As people just sitting back watching, a number of us is like, okay, when is she gonna pull the trigger? Because there are a number of us that have been waiting for you to run for Common Council presidency. And, done talked about you bad because you hadn't run. And so, but one of the things you said, and I do know it in all fairness, you said, Michelle, it's not that simple. That while I can be qualified and seasoned, experienced, all that stuff, you still got to be able to get 8 people, or is it 7 people besides you? Hopefully you vote for yourself, to vote for you. And, we watch it play out on the national level, federal level, when you talk about who is the whip counter, who's the House whip, and they going around, they making phone calls, they doing all the backroom deals, conversations about, look, I need to stop hitting this thing. We need to get her in, and this is why. So what does that look like for people in the community who don't appreciate, why can't you just, run? Because number one, the question is, have you thought about running? Because we are thinking about it, but have you thought about it? And when you've made the decision not to run, what's prevented that? And, let me just go ask, are you going to run this time? And before you say that, Dr. Williams hit me, Dr. Virginia Williams, Alderwoman Malele, spelled your name wrong. Alderwoman Malele was my inroad student when she was in high school, destined for political leadership and greatness. And then someone says a woman needs to run. I ain't gonna say that part, but somebody said a woman needs to run. I'll just leave that. I ain't gonna disparage other aldermen right now because I might need their vote. So Alderwoman, have you thought about running for Common Council president before?
Before I answer that question, I'll say this. I think something that the public has to understand is, it's a way that politics has historically been done. And historically, for a person to be president, it's not a public vote in the sense of residents getting to vote.
Right.
It's the 15 council members that get to vote. Yeah. And historically with the city, prior to a couple of times ago, it's all of this is like him and Han, give me the chairmanship, I'll vote for you, get me a fundraiser, give me some money, these different things. Or I like you, we've been friends a while, you took me out for cigars, that kind of thing. I'm comfortable with your leadership. And you get your 8 votes. And once somebody gets to 8, we go to a council meeting and all 15 members just vote for that. So whoever was trying to run ahead of time, once it's 8 people committed to somebody, then it's like, okay, we're with them. And usually that's up until the last couple of days before council. Now, months before, people out here say, I got 8 votes. I got 8 votes, whatever. Now, whether that's true or not is a whole nother thing. But ultimately, usually a day or two before, you kind of know for real that if somebody has 8 votes, and then all 15 vote. Myself and my then colleagues, put a stop to that a few terms back, because just because stuff has been that way doesn't mean it needs to continue to be that way.
Because I wanted on the record that I wasn't voting for you.
Exactly. So we challenged that.
Because when you mess up, I want to be able to say it. I didn't know.
So we challenged that, and everybody had opinions about that. But the other thing we did too with the Shanti's run and with the previous time that I took a stab at it was to make it more public. Because think about this, the president, technically and constitutionally, the president is kind of second to the mayor.
Yeah, that's the way we view it.
Exemplified through Johnson, when Barrett left, Johnson as president took over as mayor.
Right.
That means mayor for the whole city.
Right.
So why should it only be a private deal between 15 people to decide who could very well at some point be leading the city?
Right.
It shouldn't be just about who's friends. It shouldn't be just about who gave somebody a.
And I would never be able to win the presidency of the council because I'm not kissing your butt. I'm not, I'm going to give you this for that, because you really may not be the best person qualified to be the head of that committee. But because I want to vote, I'm going to give you a chairmanship. Because I'm going to tell you, I was pissed when I saw people walking off the street, newly elected, and here you are, chairman, you got chairmanships. All of that was about a vote. And I'm not crazy. I don't have to be in the room. I ain't got to be downtown, but I've been around politics enough to know the game. So when I looked at, and this ain't none of y'all conversation, this is my conversation. When I looked at Alderwoman Marina Dimitrievich, who does come with background, both of these, Alderwoman Jocasta, you come with legislative experience, but you don't come with city experience. And it's people in the room that could have easily gotten those chairmanships. So when we sit here watching this, you go pay for play. And that's what it felt like. I could be 100% wrong. I don't believe I am, but I could be 100% wrong. But the bottom line is I shouldn't have to jump through all of these hoops to get jobs that I'm qualified for, because the things that are getting people chosen are not the things that have anything to do with capabilities. Yeah. It's about clicks and friendships. And, people like, look, I'm up to 6 votes. You want X, Y, and Z done in your district? You possibly need to go with me. We got to get away from that. There has to be some degree of level of fairness and play. And then when you think about women and you think about people of color, the deck is already stacked against you coming in historically. Right now, how many African Americans do we have on the Common Council?
8.
We have 8.
We have
out of 15.
Yes.
We have 8.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 15. Okay. Y'all think about that. I'm gonna move on. So you said, let me give you the backstory.
So
but
I'm
what
putting that
about
out there,
the
and I'm
run?
putting that out there not to complain or anything, but that's something I truly believe, and I believe it so much that no vote I've cast for a president, and I've done it 4 times, has been based on me getting anything. Mm-hmm. It has solely for me,
right?
And I'm not putting an expectation out there for others that I myself do not live by. And at times, in the time that I did run, any commitment to me was never based on a chairmanship or a favor either. Mm. So when I'm saying this, I'm living this. Mm. Even when I got finance chair over at Shanti, I didn't know I was getting finance chair after he won.
Okay.
And because I had been vice chair and because I had been on there so long, he saw to put me there. He asked to put me there. Mm. That wasn't no deal. That wasn't no thing we did. I believed in his leadership. That's why I voted for him. You see what I'm saying?
No, I fully understand.
So when I say that, like, I really mean that I do believe. And I do believe the community should be involved in that conversation because of the power of that position and what that position could mean for the community. So that's just what I believe, period, whether I'm a candidate or not. Now, you asked me about this time.
Right.
I've been here 16 years, and part of the effort to get more women on there is I could have been happy as the only woman. I could have, been the unicorn and been okay with that. Instead, with other women, I decided to create Girls Day at City Hall. Each of these women has participated either by bringing young ladies, sitting on the panel, sharing their wisdom with young ladies or whatever through the years on with Girls Day as well. The whole point of that was to get more women to run for office, whether it was city or something else at some point. I like to think that after 14 years of doing that, it's had some impact, not just on the little girls who have come there, but all the women who participated through the years. So this is intentional. Like, the effort to get more women was intentional. And having said that, 16 years, all this intention, nearly 800 pieces of legislation, hundreds of millions of dollars of development in my district. And I share the knowledge and wisdom I gain by doing the stuff I do with other members. I'm daily on the phone with other members, helping them and suggesting to them things they could do to try to get stuff done in their district too, from what I've learned, because the leadership of the past helped me.
Okay.
And that's what leadership is supposed to do. At a moment where more than half the council is people who serve less than 1 term. At a moment where we have a majority African American council. At a moment where there are such possibilities about where this city could go and what can happen with this city and its council, and knowing that the president of the council helps to lead that direction, I would love to be the president of the Common Council of the city of Milwaukee. The next president. Now, that will be up to 8 of my colleagues.
Okay, hang on one second.
And I am working diligently to try to get those 8 votes.
All right.
But to Alderman Taylor's point, this should be a public conversation. The community should get involved, and people should let their alderperson know who they want to see as president of Milwaukee's Common Council.
All right, so hang on one sec. I gotta take a quick break. Callers, I see you. I'm gonna see if I can work some calls in. But we crunch for time. I'm done at 9, so we will see. Michelle Bryant, WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM. Be right back, family.
The
Milwaukee Public Library Foundation is a supporting force behind the incredible programs at our libraries. The Milwaukee Public Library Foundation engages foundations, corporations, and generous donors to support 90% of the 6,000 programs hosted in Milwaukee's 13 neighborhood branches. Whether you're into reading, technology, or just hanging out with friends, the foundation makes sure everyone has access to amazing books, cool workshops, and awesome programs.
Did you know that the Milwaukee Public Library's Ready to Read program provides early literacy, resources, and support for families with young children, setting the stage for lifelong learning success?
Round two, second round, round two. Hey, this is Mr. Winky Blue, and I want to invite you to another fabulous town hall fish fry where the rednecks in the woods and the thugs in the hood collide, and we set that mess to the side. Hey, this is Greg Kennedy, and I'm cordially inviting you to our second consecutive town hall meeting. The date is April 26, 5:30 p.m. in Milwaukee. You want to be there. Free vapes will be sponsored by Cool Breeze Vape Company. The first 50 people through the door will receive those. This is another Winky Blue production, and you don't want to miss it. Again, April 26th, 5:30 p.m., 100 Gems Restaurant, 6727 North Titonia Avenue. Don't meet us there, beat us there.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Looking to leave a lasting impression? Look no further than Great Impressions Graphics and Printing. With over 25 years of experience, we're your one-stop shop for all things printing. Whether it's custom invitations, banners, apparel, or high-quality on-time funeral programs, we've got you covered. Planning a family reunion? We'd love to help. Visit our website at greatimpress.com or give us a call at 414-536-7646 to start your next project today. We're here when you need us.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Hi, this is Keith Pierce, the host of Community Voice, asking you to join us Mondays through Fridays from 9 to 11. You will hear from interesting guests, Wednesday's Word, and topics and subjects that impact our beloved community.
And don't forget about me, Devon Jones, DJ The Protege, here every Friday, bringing you Free Flow Friday, Politics Nation, Sports, Haters Nation, local events, national events. And remember, while I'm here, there'll be no passes given.
That's Community Voice heard on The Voice, WNOV 860, 106.5.
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. Now, back to Say Something Real with your host, Michelle Bryant on 860 WNOV.
All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Taking a moment to just take in the history that we have made in the city of Milwaukee. At some point, though, we got to stop talking about history for the sake of history. We got to start talking about, history for the sake of accomplishment, for things getting done. It doesn't matter that you have Black folks sitting at the helm if nothing gets done. Okay. You just put in a different, in this case, dress, but I still got the same results. I purposefully put Alderwoman Cox on the spot, asking her before we went to break about whether or not she intended to run for Common Council president. And I even said to her, as the commercial started playing, like, I did that on purpose because women frequently don't want to seem bodacious. They want to be humble. I want to be, just, hey, if everyone else sees it in me, then gosh darn it, I'll win. Damn that. You got to be able sometimes just to come out and say, I am qualified for this job and I want this job. I mean, it just has to happen. And, I've watched you for a long time. Like I said, I have to lean in and hear what you be saying sometimes until you get hot about something. Then like, oh, maybe we want to keep her quiet. But so I don't know what this looks like, but I am going to say this vote happens when?
April 16th.
April 16th.
The same day we get sworn in.
Same day. So you all get sworn in, and then you're going to decide that day who'll be common council leadership.
Yes.
I'm just going to encourage the community that if you believe that in 178 years that we could possibly do something different, that you reach out to your respective alderpersons to tell them how you feel. If you think she shouldn't be the common council president, and Perez, I'm assuming he's going to run again, should be the president, say that too. But say something. I like Alderwoman Taylor that there is a belief that the community should also be paying attention and also weigh in. Like, we don't have a direct vote, but I get to pick up the phone and call people. And I just believe everybody ought to have a shot. We've been, because the other thing, and I was thinking about this as we were coming back, and I heard the conversation. How many Black common council members have, common council presidents have we ever had?
There have been 4 men who have
Four
been.
men, 4 Black men.
Yes.
Ben Johnson, Marvin Pratt. I wonder who he is.
Ashanti Hamilton
Ashanti
and Willie
Hamilton.
Hines.
I know it's 5.
Willie Hines. And then and Chevy.
Oh, and Chevy.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's been 5. Okay, it's been 5. You know, so even that's a crazy number when you consider the demographic makeup of this city.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, but who gets elected to these seats? Charlene, you are coming into a seat that was occupied by Mike Murphy for a long, long time. So folks not even gonna be used to having a Black legislator representative in that role. That's gonna be new for some people. Did you see or feel anything on the doors when you were out?
Yeah. Michael Murphy was in the position for so long, and he did a great job from all the constituents that I spoke to. He was responsive, he listened to their concerns. I think he just probably got a little burnt out. 34 years is a long time
to do anything.
You
should be able to leave and
right?
go do
And
something
so, so I'm honored to be taking up the helm. But I think people are like, just wanted to see something new. Many people love Michael Murphy.
No, that's fair.
And there were others that was just like, I just didn't see him at all,
So I want to end with Alderwoman Taylor, because, I've heard something that, like, public. Why is it important to you that the public understand what's happening on April 16th? And I'll end with that. Just got a minute.
Well, it's important because, making history is always important. Showing people a change, and that change can be for the positive, is what makes that so important. I think that we can have a great impact on the city in the positions that we're in right now, and bringing 4 women to the table is going to have an impact on the city, as long as we are working for betterment, as long as we're working with integrity. And sharing ideas with each other, we're going to have that impact on the city.
All right, so I'm going to do this, family. I got to get out the way, but I'm going to say this. April 16th, April 16th, April 16th. We need people to reach out to your respective alderpersons and weigh in. Let them know what you think about the Common Council. We've never been asked to do this. We've never thought to do this. Let me just say that. And when I say asked, I'm not saying that anybody at this table asked. I'm saying I have people behind the scenes that are saying to me, Michelle, why don't we better understand this process? We're being called to understand the process and to weigh in, not directly, indirectly. So y'all, I'm gonna bring it up again tomorrow. I'm gonna bring it up again next week. Before we get to this vote, pick up a phone, call your alderperson. I don't care who you tell them to vote for, but tell them what you want to see happen down at the Common Council. All right, y'all, I got to get out the way. Ladies, alderwomen, leaders, history makers, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Here goes this made up holiday.
Happy Black Women's History Month.
Google it. Happy Black Women's History Month. I ain't never heard of it. We looking up? My glasses fogged up. All right. Okay, y'all. I'm getting out the way, and good luck, ladies.
Thank you.
Neophyte, welcome to the fold. All right, fam. I gotta get out the way. Key, appreciate you. Carvey, she is an alderwoman, bro. All right, y'all.
You're listening listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. The views and opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of the